We have two speakers this morning. Our first speaker is Reet Tharwani. Reet is a 4-year boarding student from Dhahran, Saudi Arabia. She is co-president of the Student Government Association, Step and Dance Team co-president, and South Asian Student Association co-president. She's also the proud roommate of Lizzie Richter. Reet?
Can everyone please raise their right hand and shake it around? Thank you. You can put it down now. My dad, who's sitting right there, told me that if I was ever going to speak in front of a crowd, I should move them. Well, mission accomplished. Growing up, I didn't really understand the meaning of fitting in. Even now, I'm not sure if I really know what it means. I used to hide who I was because I thought I had to fit into other people's worlds. I found myself hiding my background and passions that created who I am out of fear of being ridiculed or ostracized. Growing up as an American South Asian individual, I've experienced a fair share of challenges and obstacles that have shaped me into who I am today. During my elementary and middle school days, I was surrounded by people who were friends with those who looked and acted like them. In a certain friend group at my school, being from South Asia wasn't the most respected. If one of them were to ask me where I was from, I would respond with New Jersey because I technically wasn't lying. They would then ask, "No, where are you really from?" I knew they were talking about my ethnicity. I knew they already had the answer to their own question based on their eyes looking at my skin color. But I was always afraid to answer because of the face they made after my response. They always trusted the South Asian stereotypes. For example, we always stink and we always have to be full of knowledge. For this reason, I was embarrassed to celebrate my cultural events. I was embarrassed to tell everyone I was missing school because I was going to a wedding in India, and I was embarrassed to wear the red string around my wrist that the temple gave me. I never wanted someone of another ethnicity to see me in a traditional outfit when I had to wear it. I didn't want to feel their wave of judgment or discouragement. Similarly, I vividly recalled the consistent advice I received to label my place of residence as the Middle East when interacting with Americans, instead of pinpointing Saudi Arabia. Again, it was because of the stereotypes and perceptions in people's minds. These stereotypes range in negative associations of the region, from gender inequality to conservatism, and even an unjust connection with terrorism. However, I can proudly say that my life in Saudi is an experience like no other. My life in Saudi Arabia is an experience that denies these stereotypes. It's a treasure trove of memories and nostalgia that resonate only with those who have shared it. And may I just say, the food is noticeably tastier over there. These stereotypes, often fueled by media portrayals and limited perspectives, painted a one-sided picture that overshadows the rich complexity of life there, which is why I feared revealing my connection to Saudi Arabia. At that time, I believed that blending in was safer than standing out. Stereotypes are like these annoying tags that society sticks on us just because of how we look or seem, and they can be pretty suffocating. They not only limit our potential, but also hinder our ability to express ourselves authentically. I sank under the weight of these stereotypes and felt like I was trapped in a narrative that wasn't my own. What I didn't notice was how these stereotypes were often oversimplifications and rarely captured the depth of my identity. One thing I will always thank that friend group in middle school for is making me want to leave and come to Hill. Here, I immediately found that my passions and beliefs are admired by the people I surround myself with. The first time someone asked me where I was from, I still started off with New Jersey, but then continued on to explain my background. Instead of them making the face I was used to after hearing my response, they responded with, "Tell me more." As a school that is not fully informed about life in the East, everyone was eager to learn more about other people's backgrounds and beliefs. I am always surrounded with questions like, "So what's it like there?" or "How's it different from here?" Since we always hold different events for different cultures that everyone is encouraged to celebrate, I felt like I could reveal myself and not feel judged. I learned how to be comfortable with my own skin, and with this, I decided to take further action and join the South Asian Student Association, not knowing I would later become the leader of the club. Today, I stand before you not just as another student, but as someone who's been through a journey of self-discovery that I believe we can all relate to. And I'm still on this journey. There's that moment when something just clicks and suddenly you're seeing the world through a new lens. For me, it was like flipping a switch from hiding in the dark to revealing my own skin, and it marked the start of a truly remarkable transformation. Embracing who we are is no walk in the park. It's a roller coaster ride of vulnerability and resilience. I mean, who likes putting themselves out there and knowing they might face some raised eyebrow or maybe even a bit of mockery? But in the end, or at least right now, I know that's totally worth it. After all, some people have come to celebrate me as a Aramco oil princess of Saudi Arabia. Recognizing the positive impact authenticity has had on my life allowed me to connect with others on a deeper level. By celebrating our authentic selves, unafraid, we not only unlock our own potential, but also contribute to a richer and more vibrant world. When we break free from these stereotypes and unapologetically express who we are, we challenge outdated norms and redefine expectations. Embracing authenticity is an ongoing journey full of ups, downs, triumphs, and setbacks. There so may be moments of doubt or external pressure, and times cannot always be all rainbows and sunshine. But it's pretty awesome when everyone is given a permission slip to be their own amazing selves. In a world that often demands conformity, we feel safe when we hide behind someone. Change and standing out is something we don't really want to happen, but when we finally start to accept ourselves, we are adding one more drop of diversity into the world. As we navigate our life, let us remember that by embracing our uniqueness, we not only honor ourselves, but also inspire others to do the same. The famous author Oscar Wilde wisely noted, "Be yourself because everyone else is already taken." Let's celebrate the beauty in our differences and contribute to a world that thrives on us, skin deep, and all that's underneath. Thank you.
Our second speaker is Mason Moore. Mason is a four-year boarding student from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. He is co-president of the Student Government Association and captain of the varsity boys lacrosse team. He's the proud younger sibling of Max, Liza, and Kat, and the proud four-year roommate and best friend of Cole Thomas. Mason?
I came to Hill in August of 2020 as a young, naive 14-year-old kid. Lots has changed about Hill and about myself since first stepping foot on campus. Now, I'm 17 years old. I've got everything figured out. Of course, that's not true. I promise you I'm still young, and I'm definitely still naive. This October marks my 39th month as a Hill student. And out of these 39 months, I've spent 22 of them physically injured, with most of that time being spent in a cast, brace, or splint. My injuries have come in different forms. I've had knee surgeries, broken hands and fingers, and suffered stress fractures in my shins. There are more I can mention, but standing in front of you right now, the details and exact injuries are not relevant. In addition to the chronic physical pain I experience, I've certainly had my fair share of emotional struggles. Some as a result of my injuries, but some that were completely unrelated. And at times over the years, I've attempted and failed to handle all my setbacks alone. When others tried to help me, I blocked them out. For how could they relate to my pain if they were not me? Upon arriving to Hill, this perspective swiftly changed. We proudly dub ourselves as the family boarding school, and in families, you support one another regardless of circumstance. In this family, in this community, I've learned that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. After a severe injury a month into my third form year, I required major knee surgery. I would have to recover at home for the rest of the trimester, missing 6 weeks on campus. Prior to surgery, I had to return to campus for a week. That week should have been terrible. I was on crutches and couldn't put any weight on my knee. However, in a strange way, I'm incredibly grateful for my time spent on campus that week. Friends helped me carry my bag from class to class. Faculty members and students I'd never met walked me up and down the hill to Dutch Village every day. Security guards helped me give rides on golf carts, and everyone in this community reached their hand out and helped me. But of all the actions that week, One sticks out the most. My last night before heading home to receive surgery, my dorm parent, Mr. Yinger, surprised me and our whole dorm with cheesesteaks from Little It's and called the celebration Mason Night. Mr. Yinger has been teaching at Hill since 2001, and while I may not even remember this night, this small act meant the world to me. It introduced me to the type of care and the quality of people who would be supporting me over the next 4 years. Some of you may remember my gaffe during convocation. On the opening day of school this year, in front of the entire student body and faculty, during Reet and I's speech, it took me 4 whole times to say the word diminishes. This should have been an incredibly embarrassing moment for me. Instead, all of my fellow students started cheering me on prior to my 3rd and 4th attempts at the word. After I finally did the impossible and said diminishes, the crowd absolutely erupted. In the grand scheme of things, a public speaking mistake is no big deal. But I think this example showcases the level of support in our community and our desire to make others feel uplifted. To put it simply, I've struggled at points the past 4 years. I've always had a tough time dealing with these struggles without the physical presence of my parents, without the comfortability of my home. But every time I feel low and every time I face pain, I've been uplifted by a member or members of Hill's community. It's impossible to replicate support from parents away from home, but I think Hill does a pretty good job of partially filling in. I glean support from the best of friends, the counseling center, and more than anyone, faculty members. Like Mr. Nelson, Coach Page, previously mentioned Mr. Yinger, Mr. and Mrs. Eccleston, and many, many more. There are so many faculty members that have picked me up when I've been down over the years. I'm sure you all have at least one story that comes to mind where faculty have lifted you up. Continue to lean on them and know that they are there for you. It's not as easy as it made it sound. It takes effort, and it takes courage to be vulnerable with your advisor, coach, teacher, or dorm parent. The same goes for peers who you live and learn with. But I promise you, these connections are worth it. When you make that leap and are vulnerable with someone, or take the time to allow them to share things with you, you will establish a lasting and supportive relationship. I very intentionally chose this topic to share in front of you all. It is a stressful time for all of us. Today marks the final day of our fall midterms. The 6th form students are currently applying to college. The 5th form students have taken on increased academic workload and responsibility across campus, and the parents are supporting us throughout it all. While going through these difficult times, please know that there is support all around you. I'd like to leave you all with this. One day in class last year, my economics teacher, Mr. Baum, showed a clip from the TV show, The West Wing. In the clip, a character tells an anecdote. The anecdote is the following. This guy's walking down the street when he falls in a hole. The walls are so steep that he can't get out. The doctor passes by and the guy shouts up, "Hey doctor, can you help me out?" The doctor writes a prescription, throws it down in the hole, and moves on. Then a priest comes along and the guy shouts up, "Hey father, I'm down in this hole. Can you help me out?" The priest writes down a prayer, throws it down in the hole, and moves on. Then a friend walks by and the guy shouts up, "Hey Joe, it's me. Can you help me out?" And the friend jumps in the hole. Our guy says, "Are you stupid? Now we're both down here." And the friend says, "Yeah, but I've been down here before and I know the way out." Time and time again, members of this community have jumped in holes with me. The next time you see a friend struggling with pain of any type, jump in that hole with them. The next time you find yourself struggling, know that the people surrounding you in this very room will be there for you, just as they were there for me. Thank you.